With the Comfort Contigo, again, you have a transmitter. This is the transmitter, and you have a receiver. Now, how you can tell them apart is that the transmitter has fewer buttons on it, all right? You, the listener, actually have the control. You can control the volume of this particular device. So you're going to turn this on by just pressing this little button on the side, holding it for about 3 seconds, okay? And the microphone is going to be here on both. It's on the top, and it's also here on the front, on both of these. Mm-hmm. Because like the Motiva, this also can be used alone, and just as you would use a duet, all right? So it can become a personal communicator. Now, going back to the transmitter, you look in the little screen, and you're seeing a little pie wedge, design there in the center.
Okay.
Okay? That means that right now, this microphone is on directional mic. And I think sometimes, like if you're in a classroom or you're going to a presentation, you want to hear the speaker, you probably want to have that on a directional mic. So you're going to cut out some of the other sounds that might be in the room, such as an overhead projector, or a PowerPoint projector, something like that. You change that by just using the up and the down little buttons on the transmitter. So up puts it in the directional mode, down puts it in the omnidirectional mode. All right. Now, if you were using this in a meeting, you might want to place this at the end of the table, far end of a table. Then you might want omnidirectional so that you're going to pick up everyone. Okay, so when you look at the receiver now, and I told you you have the control, you're going to see on the sides of the screen, there's sort of a large pie wedge that goes up the side. Those indicate the volume. And when this is facing you, the buttons on your left, they control the volume of the transmitter. So the speaker doesn't have to worry about, is the volume loud enough for you or anything at all like that. You can push the plus button to make it louder, or the minus button to make it softer. Now, if you're using the environmental mic in here, the volume control for that is on your right, and you're going to do the same, plus and minus, to change the volume. Okay. And you'll notice that you also, on the receiver, can change your setting for directional mic or omnidirectional mic. Now, you have a battery indicator up in the right-hand corner, and on both of these devices, and you'll see that it's completely full right now. This device, when it's fully charged, is going to give you about 14 to 16 hours. And you have to sort of learn to judge by how full this mic is about how much time you have left. These pieces work on a rechargeable battery. And it's important for you to let the charge drain down to almost empty before you recharge. The battery has about 200 charges, and once the battery's gone, you start having trouble hearing, you're getting some static, some things like that, and the rechargeable battery has to be changed. This device has to go back to the company, and they put in a new rechargeable battery for you. So that's something that's kind of important to know.
Does the company charge for that?
I would imagine that they have a charge for the battery. I'm not absolutely certain, but I'm sure that they probably do have. And then you probably have, I'm not sure, but your shipping charge might be on top of that. Now, to recharge it, you have rechargers that hook into the bottom of both of these. Okay. And then you just have a piece. They plug in. They plug in to the little piece here. This goes in here and then to the wall. That's how you would recharge them. And usually takes about 4 hours to recharge, okay? All right, now, would you like to listen to this one? We haven't put it on
Sure.
for you to listen.
Sure.
And I do want you to know that Comfort Audio, who manufactures the Comfort Contigo and the Comfort Duet, does have its own neck loop. And some people do prefer it. Others prefer to use their neck loop that they already have.
Okay.
All right? That's going to plug in here on the side,
Okay.
right into that, okay? And it's already on, so you need to be,
I could tell it was on right away.
okay, oh, you could tell, all right. And you, all right, can you hear me all right through this?
I hear you wonderfully.
Okay, and the quality of sound is usually really good. Again, you have the same digital kind of quality of sound that you have in the Duet, so it's a very good quality sound, all right?
Wow. I'm very impressed by this. How many of these transmitters can communicate
Okay.
or receivers can communicate with one transmitter?
Okay, let's talk about like that and about pairing, okay? Because you can actually put any number of receivers with this transmitter. And the same is true with the Motiva, any number. But they have to be paired. And this unit works on FM frequency band that is totally its own. And once they are paired, you can lock them in place, and no one can get into the same FM band that you are on. So it gives you total privacy. A really nice device, like for in a courtroom. But let's just take a look at how you might pair these. We've got a little center button here that we haven't looked at. So when I push on the button, and I told you, and you can push on the center button on that one as well.
I'm turning down the volume.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'm too loud for you.
No.
Okay. I told you that you have more control. You do as far as using, the volume and everything like that, control. But when it comes to the different functions, actually the transmitter offers more options. So when you push on the center button, there's a menu that comes up. And then I just use the up and down keys to go back and forth on that menu. So one is to choose a channel to put it on. So we would choose a channel, and then there's a process you go through where you pair, the receiver to the transmitter. And there's also allows you to then lock it in so that nobody else can come in. And then there's a place for input, like if you wanted to use this, you can use these devices with your iTouch or iPod. You can use them with a DVD player. You can use them with a TV. But you have to come to the line in, option in order to be able to do that. And then, I would just go back up on the menu item to back, push on back, and it takes me back to the original screen. Okay? Now, are there other questions that you might have?
I don't.
Huh?
I'm very impressed by both of these. Do the Motivas have to be paired?
You have to make sure it's not a pairing. It's not the same process. You just have to make sure that you're on the same channel. Okay. So, with this one, remember the channel selections on the top of the device. And with the receiver, you have to open it up and with a small screwdriver, go in and turn this little arrow to make sure you're on the same channel.
Okay.
Okay? Any other questions?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Again, for grant purposes, I need to ask you if you'd be willing to fill out the
I'd be happy
papers.
to.
Okay.
I would be happy
okay,
to.
Good. Thank you. Okay.